Welcome to Ladders, where we break down the guys who are rising up your fantasy football waiver wires and who we would drop them to bring in, including, yes, some pretty grimy quarterbacks. I am USA Today's Christian DeAndre. He is a Rhode Island Scumbag, Mike Boyajian. Yash, we're going to start with a running back who may have carried you into the promised land in week 11. That's right, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. RB3 turned RB1, Sean Tucker. What we do with these latter segments, we talk about a guy who's about on his level when it comes to ownership in fantasy leagues. Go up a notch, and talk about where we'd want him in our lineup. First man up, a guy who's also about 30 to 40% owned, Kenny G himself, Kenneth Gainwell of the Pittsburgh Steelers. Kenny G had a huge game against the Bengals, so it barely counts, but still, the points were there. Yash, do you want Sean Tucker or Kenneth Gainwell on your roster?
I like Sean Tucker in this situation. I think that he's going to play more of a role as we move down the stretch of the season. Gainwell is also going to have opportunity, but I think Tucker is going to capitalize on the playing time he's been given. Gainwell, unfortunately, is going to have to be dealing with Jaylen Warren, who sounds like he's going to be back relatively soon. So he's probably getting regulated as early as next week.
Yeah, it's a situation where, one, you have Warren there, who is awesome, a grimy runner in the best possible way. The one area where Gainwell will have an edge is in targets. He's had 8 targets last week, 7 catches, touchdown through the air. And Mason Rudolph does seem to have that rapport with him, even though, maybe it's just the twos going in practice. That's how they know each other so well. At the same time, he's not going to get those carries. Even if he is in the featured back role, he's not going to break double-digit carries. He's not that guy. He's your pass pro. He's your third down back. I want Sean Tucker in this situation. Next man up. He is 67% owned in Yahoo leagues, and he has been the key to not quite a revival, but an improvement in the Kansas City running game. Old man Kareem Hunt, 30 years old, a miracle. How is he doing this? Yash, do you want the young Syracuse grad Sean Tucker, or do you want the old Toledo grad Kareem Hunt?
I'll take the young Syracuse grad and Tucker here. This is kind of, I know we like to make this joke a lot, but the Spider-Man meme, the two of them seem they seem very similar in terms of what their roles are. And they're both goal line backs for their respective teams. Both of them are dealing with multiple competition from their other running backs in their respective backfields. So in this case, I will take the younger, more explosive back in Sean Tucker.
If you asked me earlier in the season, just based right away, it's what we saw in the preseason, I would say Sean Tucker. But this has been a revival year for Kareem Hunt. He's 15.8 EPA on the ground. That's the highest of his year. Those are expected points added. He has accumulated 58 rushing yards over expected. That's the best mark of his career as well. This is a guy who's going out there and really exceeding expectations. And, I mean, we talked about Sean Tucker getting those goal line carries. He's had 6 in the past 3 weeks, but almost a quarter of Kareem Hunt's carries have come in the red zone. He's going to get a ton of end zone opportunities. 3 touchdowns in the last 3 weeks, doing a little bit more in the passing game as well. And yes, he's been vital to the revival of the Chiefs' run game. So in this case, I think I do like Kareem Hunt a little bit more fending off returning Isaiah Pacheco than I do Sean Tucker fending off a returning Bucky Irving.
Fair point.
Finally, let's get a little bold with it. Let's talk about a guy that you and I know and tolerate. Mr. Fumbleitis himself, Rhamondre Stevenson of the New England Patriots. Stevenson, 75% owned, but been on the bench the last 3 weeks, dealing with a toe injury. Yash, do you want to bet on a Rhamondre Stevenson revival, or are you buying Sean Tucker's glow
up? The only thing that scares me about this one is Mike Vrabel's affinity for Rhamondre Stevenson, because we all know that Travion Henderson looks much, much better than Rhamondre has at any point during the season. But who's to say that he doesn't just show up and it's like, all right, I know you're plodding along for 14 yards on 10 carries, but goal line work's still going to be yours, buddy. So it's yours to lose. 8 or 9 more fumbles were good. So I love Tucker, but I can see it being handed right back to Rhamondre. So in this case, I would not drop Rhamondre for Tucker just because that is very much in the realm of possibilities is just him reclaiming that goal line job. And, that's worth plenty in the Patriots offense right now.
Yeah, we know Mike Vrabel loves a big, beefy back with breakaway speed. The problem is Rhamondre Stevenson gets those goal line carries, and he kind of sucks at them. Let's be honest. 11 goal line carries, only three touchdowns this season. He's dealing with a toe injury. That's going to be a nagging situation. He's trying to fend off Tre'Veon Henderson, who has looked like the better back, both as a rusher and as a receiver. Stevenson's an above-average player. As long as he's holding on to the ball, he is an asset. At the same time, I don't know how you justify keeping him in there, even if you are Mike Vrabel, even if you are undeniably football-pilled. I think I would rather roll with the three-headed tailback monster in Tampa Bay than trust Rhamondre Stevenson, who at any given moment can butterfingers the ball away and get tossed onto the bench.